Yesterday was one of those days where a lot happened. Um, and I was trying to think of, I usually can like zoom in on one thing that was most impactful, but it was just a lot of little things that happened. I think one of the bigger ones and more unique ones was that I was invited to um, a marine bar here in town, um, to meet other veteran entrepreneurs. And I met a friend there, a guy I used to be stationed with when I was in the military, and he's doing an entrepreneurship thing. He's got his own business, and he was like, "Yeah, everybody here must be entrepreneurs because who else can meet up at two p.m. in the afternoon at a bar?" I thought that was funny, but I met some pretty heavy hitters there. I mean, these are all people, and it's funny because a lot of them were former Marines, and it's the stereotype is that Marines are stupid and that they don't know anything, but of course that's not true. I met some very smart Marines, but they call themselves dumb. They're so dumb that they call themselves dumb. um, but a lot of these were former Marines, and they're crushing it in their businesses. Um, Pulling in a lot of figures. Some were educators, some were consultants in some capacity, and it's funny because I do think of what I do as somewhat impressive because I bought a copy of Gates of Okinawa with me, and when people see it, they're like, "Wow, you made this! Like you designed the cover, you wrote the book, all this stuff." And I guess it is impressive, like who teaches themselves to write whole books and then to publish them as well and put them out. But the sales aspect is where I'm struggling. And my friend was like, "How long has it been? How long have you been trying to grow your email list?" And I told him it's been years, and my email list is relatively small. I have barely even 20 people on there. And it was a bitter pill to swallow, that I have been doing a lot of things on social media and um, posting things on YouTube. And for the last several years, I've tried a lot of this stuff, except for paid ads. And my list has not grown. It was funny because I told my wife the story, and she was like, "Yeah, he's right. Like, what you're doing isn't working. You should stop that." It is not growing. Like, double damn. It's like, "Ooh, ouch, baby." But they're right. And I know I haven't been looking in the right places to grow my list. I know because I know my writing's good. That's not a question at this point. It's more like just finding the correct people to appreciate the writing and appreciate the work. And while I have had some success on X, Twitter, probably the most success there since I know the most people there, but they're not interested in reading my work for the most part. Some are curious about it. In fact, yesterday I was on my first space. I spoke at my first space of the year, probably of 2025, and it was an AI space, and people were just talking about their projects and what they were working on, and it was just a very encouraging and chill space. And I talked about what I'm working on, what I'm writing, and people were interested. They were interested, but that has not translated into sales or anything like that or subscribers. So that's something that I want to work on. And as soon as I got home from that that meetup, I started working on a reader magnet. I joined Story Origin. It's a author website that helps you with marketing, and you can do reader magnets and things like that. So that type of stuff, I remember looking at it years ago and just thinking like I didn't like the idea of list swaps and doing a lot of these things that um, I just felt like I didn't have much to offer, which back then was true. You know, 3, 4 years ago, I wasn't as established. I hadn't written as many books. I didn't have as much reputation online. I just wasn't known. But I haven't really given them a second look. And so now that I am a lot more established and I have put out books and I have a bigger digital footprint in general, then I feel like it's time to to look at these things again and see, okay, maybe I could work it out. And even if though my list is small, it's very engaged. I think my open rates are like 80% or something, which, it's a small list, but super high open rates. So I think I'm going to focus on that a little bit more instead of uh, focusing on YouTube and X, just because, yeah, those things, they don't really move the needle. And right now the goal is to get readers, not get readers and subscribers. But right now the goal isn't really to make money. That's been the goal pretty much all year, and I feel like it's moving in the right direction.